Bum, bum. No, that's Louis
You're
CK.
talking about Louis C.K. You beat me.
Okay. He jacked up in a room full of kids.
Oh, no.
Okay, we're live now, so that one came out.
Oh God!
Only
It's
the
Louis
last half of
C.K.,
it.
you guys. It's nobody we
It's
know.
Louis C.K. I don't know him. Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? Who's that dude?
Who that boy?
We all know who that boy is. Who that boy
This
is.
starts off with us like, oh.
All right, no feedback. Turn off your guys' audio. All of you, turn off your audio.
It's too delayed for feedback.
Who's that guy? Who's that dude?
Who that boy? Who that boy?
I'm gonna have to go back and edit all of this.
All right, let's kick this off.
Kick it.
Oh God, what happened there?
Catch our failure.
Hang on, let me try that again.
Did you punch instead of kicking it?
There we go.
Did you guys
You gotta
share
punch
it?
before you-
Yes.
Okay.
You know it.
All right, hello, welcome to Beers at the Round Table. After some slight technical difficulties, we're back now. And we're better than ever.
Times 10, in fact.
Beers at the Round Table 2, Electric Boogaloo. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're drinking today. We're drinking Pumpkin Latte from Martin House Brewing Company down in Fort Worth, Texas. One of my favorites. Our favorite breweries, at least. I've never had this beer. My brother, I think, has this beer already, and he said good things about it. And I trust his opinion normally. So,
Okay.
Cool.
so let's crack into
You're
these.
going to crack it open?
Ooh, spicy. Spicy crack.
Scott doesn't get any.
Yeah, Scott's actually on.
They only sold
parole.
it in a 4-pack at what is that called? Owned by HEB, but
Central Market.
yeah, Central Market.
Central Market's owned by HEB.
I guessed about.
I think this is about right.
There's probably
I think you guys could probably take a little bit more.
Yeah, seriously.
Here you go. That one is.
There you go. Try this.
Here, just take the rest of this.
Oh God!
Take the druglings
We're
of our
dividing
beer.
4 by 5.
How did this
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah,
You want some more, Joseph? I feel
Okay.
like, or
sure.
all right, we good? Everybody good? All righty then.
Alrighty then.
All right, who is our topic master?
Who's the master of the topic?
Brad, get that one in the shot
Oh,
if you can.
well, the
If you
board.
dare.
this
The
board is-
board's in the way.
yeah. So I mean, I'd rather not do that. Here, it's gonna be like. oh,
Yeah, right here.
that's actually knocking out the audio. I can hear it. But it's gonna be right there.
Bobar.
All right, I'm actually the topic holder again. Today I wanted to talk about some issues that are happening around the world.
Oh my God! No way.
Talking about boobs.
Oh shit!
No, so I'm pretty sure you guys all heard about the old, not necessarily old.
You're old yet now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
about
getting old. Your old Dylan Roof story, where the asshole who shot up the church in South
yeah.
Carolina. He was
predominantly black church. He
Yeah.
was more white, dude.
he was said it was a hate crime. That's how they they labeled it as a hate crime, and he was given the death penalty. And then I think earlier today, if not yesterday, they were kind of rethinking that, saying that they wanted to give him life in prison rather than like the death penalty.
Keep
Which is
in
kinda
mind
weird.
too, this would have been the United States' first death penalty given to a federally recognized crime. So he was tried in a federal court.
Okay.
And they've never actually sentenced somebody to death in a federal court. I mean, anything like that. So this would have been pretty out of the box. I mean, I don't know if treason classifies as going. I'm pretty sure it probably does as federal court. But yeah, this is This would have been the first one if
So
they
how does
would have gotten the
that
death
work?
penalty.
Do we have a federal death penalty versus like state death penalty?
Apparently, I mean that's. I mean, I think it's just kind of played by ear.
Does the president give the lethal injection? Is that how it works?
He uses a
The best
bat.
injection.
Here's your dose. It's gonna be tremendous. It's gonna be.
He uses a giant inflatable Cheeto. And he just beats him to death. Death by Cheeto puffs without any water.
So this actually, I'm reading it now. That it was on Tuesday. They were debating whether or not he should get the death penalty or life in prison for his crimes. It took 2 hours for 12 jurors to come to their unanimous decision, which is still. I'm guessing that they actually were like, hey, yeah, you know what? He deserves to die. So they're just like,
so wait, they
do it.
just are not releasing the unanimous decision, whatever it was.
I'm guessing, yeah. Either that,
Well,
I
I believe
they,
in this case it has to be a unanimous
Yeah.
decision.
I think in any case, a jury has to be unanimous.
Not all the time. I think there are instances where majority can rule.
Okay.
I think there, but like normally they want you to
Be unanimous.
be unanimous. It's like if they come back and they're like we just can't all agree, then maybe they'll take a split decision.
Right.
If everybody says that he needs to die, they'll just go ahead and shoot him right there in the stand.
Yeah. On behalf of the jury.
It's a firing squad by a
firing
jury of
squad.
your peers.
It's like it's like Assassin's Creed with like the hidden gun and the hidden blade.
Exactly.
So- The reason why I brought this up, and one reason I want to talk about it briefly, is because you guys are familiar with the other church shooting we just happened to have in Texas. Which is,
Recently,
in
That's a huge
Sutherlandville, which actually my family has ties to.
sorry.
I actually.
Well,
wow.
like no one I know still lives there, but if you don't know, my grandma's maiden name is Sutherland, and
Yeah,
one of
that's
her ancestors was like a founding member of Sutherlandville.
Could
Cool.
you
Okay.
do me a favor and explain to me exactly what happened? I've been living underneath a rock. So
Basically-
what happened during that shooting?
The one in Sutherlandville.
Yeah.
Basically, a dude went in there with I don't remember the gun types. If you want to look that up,
So
Bobby.
I'll look
assault
it up.
rifle or
Yeah, it was some. I'll look it up. You
Okay,
can
yeah.
speak on
Went
it.
in there with guns that shoot very fast and shot a lot of people. Granted, this is a very small community,
What?
so essentially, like, there was a family that had 8 members of it die in.
Wow.
And one, I guess, maybe you could say Good Samaritan with his gun started shooting at the shooter. And then the shooter fled the scene, drove his car, crashed into a ditch, and then shot himself.
Well, then the guy that
The
would-
Good Samaritan
the-
went and, like,
the-
guarded it till the police showed up.
well, yeah, because like he like hopped in some other guy's car. I was like, we got to go get him.
Yeah.
And, like so they like chased after him.
The Good Samaritan did? Who
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this Good Samaritan?
Well,
Like,
I-
There's
don't-
some guy that just happened to be
gun
like, cause
type
there's,
he had a gun.
He
Well,
was
the
just
gun
in the
type
area
guy.
with the gun.
yeah, because I think there's like a gas station right across from the church or something like that, and it's Texas. A lot of people are gun owners
Of
here,
course.
so apparently he just happened to have his rifle with him, and
Was it a rifle?
But I believe
from what I've heard, he had a
the-
rifle.
Wow. Okay.
The church shooter was wearing bulletproof armor, I
Yeah.
believe, as well.
Yeah,
And also in Texas, you can shoot at a person even if they're not threatening you or your property as part of like an extension of the castle doctrine if he poses a risk to other people.
Interesting.
I mean, I definitely haven't heard any like charges being filed against him or anything.
Yeah.
like that.
No, it's a Texan thing too because I don't know. I remember reading that a while back. Don't try to cite me. I'm not a lawyer by any means, but
You're not.
huh?
You're not.
Of course not.
But yeah, the church shooter, he had been dishonorably just discharged from, I believe, the Marines.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask.
He had
what
had
do you know
a
about it?
past of abusing not only his wife but his child as well.
Yeah, his stepson.
And the church was the church where his wife's parents attended, I believe.
I think there was also some things saying that he was an atheist, and I mean, not saying that like the atheists are bad or anything.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't want
not
to make
at
sure, but like more specifically
trying to
that
understand his
he
background.
was an atheist, and he I don't want to misspeak here, but he said like very bad things about believers, and I think wanting to, of course, do harm to believers. So it almost seemed like he did this specifically because they're practicing Christians or something like that.
I do
Maybe.
know that he was a white
I would-
guy, and people are trying to sit there and say that because he was a white guy, it's because of mental disorder kind
Yeah.
of stuff like that.
Well, he did mention that like he praised Dylan Roof for what he did. That's one reason why I brought up the Dylan Roof thing. He said that he
Really?
looked
Oh,
up to him, and then there was also something.
Copycat killer.
Yeah, there's also something else where it's really disturbing. He said that he
playing footsie with me,
You know it.
he said that he bought animals from Craigslist as target practice.
dude.
Wow.
He's that type of person. Like this is the
See,
people
yeah,
that we're dealing with. So it's just like
that's why I kind of
in-
want to try to stay away from trying to say like, oh, he hated Christians or whatever. Maybe that's not true, but
think you just
I don't
messed
want to
up.
try to rationalize it in that way because I think it's clear that people who do this kind of thing have underlying mental issues.
No, of course.
Yeah. Especially the ones that kill themselves afterwards.
Yeah. No,
Well, I mean,
sure.
like that's something that we don't really know at this point, or unless they said it, I don't know. But I mean, last I was hearing about it, they don't really know if he died from a self-inflicted wound or if the Good Samaritan got him.
Right.
Correct. He
yeah.
died from a gunshot.
A
wound,
gunshot.
which
Okay.
at this point could have either been from himself
Or
or
the
the Good
Samaritan.
Samaritan,
Okay.
but it was not the police. So.
Right.
That's kind of cool. I mean, the Good Samaritan. If the Good Samaritan got him, I mean, it would be an interesting like little thing, I guess. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I guess you'd wish that he would get caught because of the.
I mean, there's
that way you could ask him what's going on.
there's
you know?
absolutely no way to make this okay by any means. But like if it was that like a member of the community like stepped up and saved more lives, and that's definitely something to be happy about.
Well, I think probably the saddest thing about this is that, with this and the Las Vegas shooting that also just happened,
Just recently,
it
yeah.
basically just means America is okay with this. Like, we don't care about gun control, and
It's
we're okay with people shooting each other
It's the whole
because,
thoughts and prayers doesn't do anything.
that does absolutely nothing.
well,
like,
this is the thing though too. Like if you take away guns from law-abiding citizens, even though his guns were acquired lawfully because he's former military.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
just-
but if a proper background check with someone who's abused their wife and child, they should not be allowed to have guns.
Well,
I mean,
the thing is
goes-
too. Like, what if he bought the guns before he abused his wife and his son? Though that's one thing
something
too.
we don't
Yeah,
know.
there are processes that aren't
Yeah,
here yet that there should be. I feel like I feel like that kind of also goes into what I was talking about, like the mental health thing. Like that, if they found out that you had been abusing people or maybe previously abused yourself or whatever, I feel like that should weigh something into your ability to get a gun.
Yeah,
even
for
if
sure.
you are like
Definitely.
military or post-military or.
It's not that hard to find a psychology major who has just a bachelor's in psychology, and really in general, even bachelor level psychology majors could probably identify some kind of red flags that, hey, somebody's not mentally clicking right here. A lot of times people that have bachelor's in psychology degrees just go off to be high school counselors, but I think that there's a lot of use for those kinds of people. I know I'm going off on a far off tangent. I'm
No,
going to
you're
bring it
good.
back around here. I feel like these people could probably be used in a sense of there's enough people that are trying to buy guns or trying to buy stuff like that could easily do quick screening and stuff like that of people who are clearly mentally unstable. And if they have some kind of degree to know what they're looking for and stuff like that, they could at least escalate the case and say, hey, before you buy this gun, I think you should talk to this person because I'm sorry, but I just feel like that, look, I want to make sure that you're getting this for your own reasons, And
I mean, it's always going to be their own reasons.
for
but-
sure, their own reasons. But I mean, if you have mental health disorder, then it's not your own reason. It's your mind's, your corrupted mind's reasoning. You know what I mean? Like, it's not you at that point.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that you have this possible resource that you could use to kind of help screen these people. And I definitely feel that, you shouldn't be not allowed to buy a weapon, without any probable cause. If that makes sense, you should be able to have and go out and buy a gun at a gun show. But I also believe that you should have some kind of license or some kind of clearance, even if it's just like a little decal on your license that says, "Hey, look, I'm able to do this." That I've been cleared to operate this kind of machinery in a sense.
I think it should be based off of a biannual almost.
like a license.
Like checkup. Yeah, it's like, hey, you're licensed to have this firearm of this class, of this caliber, depending on this so and so. So you
start out with a pea shooter.
Yeah. Or something,
blowgun,
something that a
shotgun.
You have to work your way up, and
shotgun every 3 years. You get a renewal on that. A handgun every 2 years. An assault rifle every year.
It's just something like that where I think you should have like regular check-ins when especially the more, let's say like your name, like who you are, your social security, whatever.
You get a minigun, you got to renew every day.
Yeah, it's
you got to renew every fucking day.
Let's say like you're tied to your name is tied to like 15 like firearms, right? And like, okay, well, you're definitely up on the list. And it's like, okay, do you have any background of like why you have that many firearms? If you're just some person, it's like, man, I just really like guns, and like you're not a collector.
That's
a collector.
Cool. That's awesome.
That's fine. But I feel like they should pay more attention to that. But
I think
versus someone who's like ex-military, who is like, oh, you showed signs of this in the military, blah blah. We should probably keep an eye on you. But like, I know that's a lot of work, but
I think another
it's part of being an American.
Yeah. Another issue in this is, bump stocks are not illegal, which essentially take a gun and make them fully automatic.
Any gun can become fully automatic. It doesn't take that much to make a fully automatic rifle out of a semi-auto that you buy in Academy.
But it's illegal to buy an automatic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
If it's before 1980 something?
I don't know the actual day, but I think
my point being that like I don't understand why we have this device that basically turns any weapon into an automatic, and how is that legal?
It's a workaround.
It's probably some
it is
sort of
that, but
language
here's
thing in the laws that isn't covered.
Yeah, it's like the whole suppressor law. Like you're not legally allowed to have what's called a silencer because that's like you're not supposed to have that. But for a suppressor, you're allowed to have one. But you have to pay for it to be on a tax stamp, and it's like if you want you don't want to go out and buy an actual suppressor for your gun, which is going to have be tied to your firearm. You can go buy an oil can suppressor, which is a little thing you screw on to the end of your threaded barrel, and you screw an oil can onto it, and you shoot through it, and it's the same thing. It costs $200 for the little adapter and plus the tax stamp that you have to put onto it, but it's like a workaround. It's like okay, I don't want to pay this much money for an actual $700 suppressor that's going to be tied to me. I can just buy this and just pay $20 for a.
I got something I gotta say. I got a friend. I'm not gonna name any names, but he has an actual legitimate silencer.
What's his name?
He has a. We were out at the lake the other week, a couple weeks ago, and we shot
Which
at
lake?
We shot at some fish because carp are pretty smart and stuff like that, and they become aware of sound. I mean, if you fire a straight up gun at a marina, then you get in trouble. Of course, you can't just shoot a gun wherever you feel like. Well, he used a silencer for that too. This guy also used an assault rifle because he's got a lot of buddies that have land and stuff like that. And in order to avoid tax benefits, or to get the tax benefits on their land, they grow crops as well. They hire people to go ahead and kind of, I guess, sharecrop or something like that. A modern version of sharecropping.
Okay. I know it's like a really, really old idea, but yeah. Okay.
It's a weird idea. But, you can go ahead and you can sell your crops that you grow on your land out and still keep control of your land. Well, a big problem out in East Texas is hogs, okay? Mm-hmm. So, like, large hogs, they can get extremely large. They breed really fast, and they're extremely invasive, and they move in, like, herds and packs, and they will actually maul you, from what I understood.
Mm-hmm. They're violent.
I'm still trying to go through and actually go out with him and see this firsthand, but he's got a bunch of ARs that he does have modified to go through and actually fire full auto if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why, and I asked him this one time, is I was like, well, why would you do that? What's the reasoning for that? And he goes, well, their hides are thick as can be, and you don't kill them from a couple of shots from, regular NATO rounds. You got to fill them up. And the thing is that this isn't just, some deer that you're hunting. This is a species that will, one, kill you, and two, destroy your property. They're not native to where we live at. And that is the one reason for, assault rifles and stuff like that are still full auto, or even semi-auto for that matter too. A lot of people will go out there with night vision goggles late at night with AR-15s and shoot at them because that's the only way you can get through their hide and through their skulls, because they are so hard-headed. And I didn't think of it like this, but I started reading about it, and it's weird that we're talking about it now. But it was the only reason why I think I kind of changed my perspective on those kinds of weapons now, because there is a need for it. It's a very, very specific need. Just like how it's still legal to have a flamethrower.
Yeah,
Right?
you can make one.
You can make one and you can own it too, but it's for the use of burning crops or something else like that.
I don't
Something
know.
like
Yeah.
Slash and burn.
It's something really strange, but it's that one.
I use it to
purpose
light my
need.
cigars.
Jesus.
Now, granted, the silencer is not necessarily for a legitimate reason, but people have silencers and they don't necessarily do bad with them, I guess. But, you know, especially for automatic weapons and for, you know, those kind of extreme weapons just in general, I don't think that they should be completely outlawed, especially considering that there is an event that's going on in the South. And I'm not trying to sound, you know, pro-automatic rifles and stuff like that, but there is something that's going on in the South right now. We have a highly invasive species that's destroying crops
Well,
here in
you
the
know,
South.
I understand that, but like, you know, it's like, you know, at the Las Vegas shooting, it's like, why? That guy had so many guns. At a certain point, you can't even justify home defense with that. There's just
That's different, though. Those were a lot of rifles and a lot of ammo. Now that...
no. It was automatic as well, using bump stocks. Like there's no argument that you could make that justifies it, and you can't even use the argument if all the crowd had guns, they could
For
kill
sure.
them. Or are
No.
they going to shoot their pistols up at the
Out
30
the window, yeah.
up at the 34th floor?
I
and
kind of
try
like to
hit
see
the
that,
guy?
though. You know, thousands of people just all turn around.
Just raining the windows, glass is coming down.
There's just no argument that I can see that justifies
No,
it.
I agree. It's
You
one
need
of those
licensing and you need limiting on
It's-
that.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
It's one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like you can, you know, I forget that explosive. Tannerite.
C4?
Tannerite you can buy over at our academy.
Yeah, you can
to
buy
blow
it.
up the hogs.
You can blow. You can,
I get mine from Easy Check.
like you can buy Tannerite, right? It's gonna be, of course, they're gonna know that you bought it. You're gonna be on camera and everything like that. But it's like if someone wanted to go out and
Why do you need to buy Tannerite when you can just get dry ice?
Well, because Tannerite
explodes.
is incendiary.
Dry ice explodes.
but you,
Pressure.
but if you shoot, never mind. You know what I mean?
If you shoot Tannerite, dude,
It will
like
explode.
it's different, dude.
Why don't you just
Why do you need Tannerite when you have lithium-ion batteries?
why don't you just shoot all the red barrels? The red barrels always explode.
Right. You got, who
Why do
makes
you need
the red barrels?
Tannerite when you
Scott?
have the Samsung Galaxy Note 7?
Yeah, just throw your phone at them.
Very fun that while it's on in like power saving mode. But like, so you can go out and buy a Tannerite, and like this is not me arguing like for bump stocks. I've never used a bump stock. I've never actually shot an automatic weapon before. I've shot rifles and shotguns and handguns before, but I've never actually went full auto. With, you know, never
Same here,
I've
same
never
here.
had that experience.
I went full auto with a paintball gun once.
Okay, well that I have. So, but what? But wait, what? I've done the finger rock. No, well, never mind. But
No,
anyways,
man, I had this Spider paintball gun. It was electronic and it had 3 modes.
I've still got mine.
It was semi-automatic, 3-shot burst, and full auto.
that's dangerous, dude.
I flipped on that full auto, and then they yelled at me because I flipped on the full auto.
Yeah, I understand.
do
that. So
Stop.
You can go buy Tannerite. You can get bump stocks from like I don't know, online. Have it shipped to an ATF licensed like gun store, and they'll just give it to you because that's how you have to do it. But you can buy Tannerite and you can blow up stuff with it, and you can just lay that thing down and you can just wait because that's what people use on hogs. They'll lay it down and they'll put some feed around it and they'll just wait and like, oh look, there's like 30 hogs up there, and someone will just
You
shoot
use
it.
you use night vision goggles, and how it was explained to me was the exact same
Yeah,
way. You
you
just
just-
shoot it with your full auto rifle, and you can layer any of the ones that are still alive. Because if you don't kill them, then they run off, and then they breed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can
And
you eat them?
No,
Do
you
they
can't.
taste good?
No, they don't, because the thing is that a lot of times they've already hit puberty, so it's like,
Diseased.
The other cool thing, at
Nah,
least I think it's
it's-
here in Texas, it's legal to hunt them out of a helicopter now.
It is.
yeah, you can.
with a full automatic. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
With a full automatic, 50 cal. If you have a 50 cal mounted, like you know, not in a helicopter, but like on like a Humvee.
Well, let me just go down to Academy and get my helicopter,
helicopter.
with 50 cal
automatic.
full
Hey,
auto
and
And
attack.
drop Tannerite out of the
They
back.
got they got
Get you
financing.
Tannerite.
They got financing. You can do it. Don't joke.
finance.
They do.
Well, and that's it's but that's the thing though, is that you have an extenuating circumstance in Texas and in the South in particular, that you do need this kind of equipment. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm playing devil's advocate tonight, guys.
I'm a little too.
Allow me to play devil's advocate against your playing devil's
advocate. It's just. Oh wait, 1 second.
I think they call that Jesus advocate.
It's like this, right? I know how I've met a couple gun nuts in my day. Some of the stuff that they do is just like, dude, why would you do that? It's like, I'll just have fun. So like, bump stocks are made because like, I like shooting full automatic weapons. I want to have that ability to where I can still do that. Let's make something like just modified it so it just bounces and your finger bounces and it's fully automatic that way. So people do that, and I understand that. It's just because it's like that's how gun nuts are like. I just want to shoot full automatic. So I get that there's some modifications. Like you don't need a bayonet on a pistol. Like what are you doing?
Bayonet.
You don't need you don't need that. Like what? What are you gonna? So like,
but you want it because it looks cool.
Because it looks cool and like you want to have fun with it. So I understand that like there's stuff out there that are toys that are not made for toys because the firearm is by no means a toy. So in the case of Tannerite, like I don't see any other use for it besides blowing stuff up. Same thing goes for bump stocks. You just want it to be fully automatic. I think that there should be regulations. Not necessarily against it, but like there should be a long list of you going out to like buy that, because it's just like they have been used in the past for and recently obviously they have been used for these for
atrocities.
Term. Yeah, for terrorist attacks, or lack of a better term. That's basically what they are.
Atrocities.
Yeah.
I like the word atrocity.
Tragedy.
But next topic.
Next topic. That's like this is all based on like this horrible shooting, horrible tragedy.
Let's lighten things up a little bit, if we can, Bobby.
We can. I'm sorry about that.
Can.
I know we still got some more sad news.
The world is a terrible place.
No, Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, Bitcoin. That's also very sad. It dropped the last week. Dropped
sad
like,
for some.
800?
No, that's a fun topic.
1,000. It dropped like 1,000. Like, I think it went up in 1 week. It went up over 1,000, and then this past week it dropped over. I think 800.
That's how crypto works.
because I was kind of watching it. And it's like damn. Bitcoin's at $6,000. And then damn, Bitcoin's $6,200.
And you wake up,
damn,
Bitcoin's $7,000. What? What?
Damn, Bitcoin's $7,500.
And you know what I did?
Yeah, it hit 7,700. It looks like it.
Yeah, you had traded your Bitcoin in for basic attention tokens.
I did at one point, and I got out of BAT a while back, and I definitely took it at a loss.
Yeah,
same. I traded mine in at 6,200.
Yeah, we were like,
it's
down to 25. Oh, it's down to 22.
Yeah,
spoiler, it never got back up to 20 again.
I bought it like 23, man.
Dude, like when I bought it was the highest. Like it never got back to where I bought. At, which was. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I got y'all into that.
Didn't get me into it.
It's like, I was like, man, I really feel like this product's going to go somewhere. And
Dude,
then,
I'm just waiting, man. I think it'll have its day.
Like,
I think I'm pulling out immediately, but.
Like, I think definitely, like the idea of the product is definitely something that I think once it matures is really going to be kind of a cool thing. But they've definitely got a long ways to go.
Well, I think the problem is that they release the part where you can actually set aside a certain amount of tokens for the sites that you visit, but they haven't released the part where you get paid. You get paid.
Yeah.
So there's
the attention part of it.
Right, the attention part of it. So there's just sort of this standstill right now. I mean, it's fluctuating a cent or two.
Yeah.
But
like for a period of time, I was on their Rocket Chat channel, and like they've got like one part of it dedicated to like trading discussion, and it's definitely like people that are much newer to cryptocurrency trading and altcoins in general, and just watching them freak out, speculate.
Oh no! And plus it's like an
FUD.
chat.
It's just like
it's like times 10.
It's really interesting to watch them.
Oh no!
But,
my Bitcoin.
But yeah, I pulled out of that. Took the loss, but right now I'm actually really not in the crypto markets right now. I've got all my investments in actual stock market right now.
Nice.
See, I think I need to make that same transition because I just pulled all my Bitcoin out at 6,200 and didn't get back in the game.
Well, hey,
should have left it.
Hey,
should have left it in.
Hey, Bobby, you should use my Robinhood link so that we can both get a free share.
Only thing I don't like about that is there's not. I mean,
the foreign markets.
Yeah, excitement of crypto, dude.
I need the foreign markets because a lot of the video game industry is over there.
But like you said, there's the
Yeah.
gamer ETF,
China.
which you can trade in. I mean, like that'll get you invested in those video
But
game
I need
companies.
Nintendo. Nintendo's been
Nintendo's
doing
only
so
Nintendo.
well
But
for me.
Nintendo's on the gamer ETF.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
like the gamer
No.
ETF trades in the foreign markets.
Oh, really?
They've
so
got-
what is it, like a collective that? Then,
Yeah, so basically what an ETF is basically it's somebody managing, I guess you can call it a fund, and they invest in a bunch of different stocks, and basically they have a stock price, and you go invest in that, and then like instead of like putting all your money into one company, you're putting your money into several companies at once, and so
Okay.
like you're kind of minimizing your risk a little bit. And because it's actively managed, you have a higher chance of getting returns on it, like getting steady returns on it.
Yeah.
Like if it's managed well. And generally they pay dividends. And
Oh, they do pay dividends.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like a fee for managing the stock, but it's built into the stock price. So like the stock price might dip a little bit, but that's because you just paid the management fee.
Okay.
But yeah, ETFs.
Yeah, I might get into that. I don't know.
Like-
Because see, I'm still trading all on an IRA, which is like my retirement stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea.
But I need I don't have any actual personal stock trading other than I
Personal
guess.
capital.
Well, what I'm doing,
I've got a
I mean,
question
I
for
have
you guys in a second.
0.2 Ether, and I have like 3 or 4 Litecoins or something like that. So
I have 46 Bitcoins. I just take off running. Everyone talking about Bitcoin, mother. I wish I had 46 Bitcoins. It'd be
Dude,
badass.
that'd be insane.
I've got 20 ETH and 20 Litecoin right now.
Did you guys
Do you
see?
know it? I got like 14 Litecoin.
Did you guys see that one guy?
good.
I got 0 Bitcoin, zero ETH, and 0 Litecoin.
I have.
But Intel's making me some money right now, so
I'm about to switch over.
Sony's
But-
finally making me
What
money.
was it? Did you guys see that one old tweet from that guy in 2013? It was like, man, it's like, I wish I still had my 1,200 Bitcoin, and I traded in at like 60 cents instead of 3 cents. And I was like, back in 2013, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, like if you only wait until today. If you wait until today,
out of here.
he would have had 12 million.
Or like the
over
guy-
I
something.
mean, like 60 cents as compared to 3 cents, like that's still a
Still,
good gain.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, okay,
you
3
waited
cents
20
compared to $7,200.
Yeah, he would have been
But
a
see,
multi-millionaire.
we discussed this before. Like, you have no reference of how much it's going to go up.
So that's what
Yeah.
I'm scared.
So
Like, I don't
if
want
you
to keep
had
taking it
waited
out.
all that time, you would have never known to wait all
And so
that
like
time.
I'm really kicking myself. I told y'all earlier this week that Roku, their stock, like jumped up 40% in like one
God,
day
yeah.
because of their earnings report, which
Yeah.
was really awesome. So I jumped in it at a good point, and like I was already making money on that day. But what I did was I set up a sell because like I was like, okay, it looks like it's going up, but it could also just go right back down at any moment. So like I set up a stop limit sell so that I didn't like lose a bunch of money.
Right.
But and
Did it do a little bump?
well, yeah, so like it did a
Oh,
little dip
no.
during the day and then went way back up,
Yeah.
but it executed my sell.
Still good though, man. No. That was a smart sell though.
Yeah, like it's like I don't want to lose money, so I did it, and I didn't lose money, but I didn't gain as much money as I could have because like I bought at $27.50 a share. The sell executed $27.55. I made like 60 cents off of it, but the stock is trading at over $30 now, so I missed out on a ton of money.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay, we're all like pretty young dudes, starting to get a hold of our finances and stuff. I kind of have a question for you guys about how do you determine how much investable income you have?
75%, nothing less.
Jesus Christ.
I do.
Well, see,
I
okay,
do
this is
200
really-
bucks a month.
200 a month?
Yeah.
And this is really kind of an interesting question, and like
which I guess is 5%. I'm sorry, I'd have to sit here and do the math.
but
You
like
have a
it,
calculator.
it's an interesting question, and it always depends on your particular situation, how much you can afford to invest, just based on what's going on in your life. Like me, wife and kids, I've got certain expenses that I have to take care of. But the way that I've been kind of handling it is, I just
Hey, don't pay attention to me. I'm doing math.
What, not do air math?
basically like when I sit down and I create our budget for like our food, gas, and all that kind of stuff, I make sure there's a section in the budget. It's like investing. And like, right now, right now it's as little as like, $15 a week goes into Robinhood. I have an automatic deposit. But I mean, if you can carve out that part of your budget and you just like, you sell it to yourself as that's an expense, that's a good way to think of it.
This is money that you could just straight up lose and you don't care about.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that what you put into like your investment account, whether it's cryptocurrency, stock trading, whatever it is, that needs to be an expense. That needs to be like the same as like your Netflix subscription. Like, it's just a bill I pay every month or every week or whatever. And
that's a good way to think of it.
That way you're not thinking about it, and it's just money that's continuously going away till you need it or till you can use it.
Right.
And like that's something that I think people need to do as they, kind of get to our age and a little bit. Oh, we had an audio dropout.
That's smart.
Let's see where we were.
That's what I was going to say, but the audio dropped out.
Like, it's just a bill I pay every month or every week or whatever. And
that's
that
a good
way
to think of it.
That way you're not thinking about it, and it's just money that's continuously going away till you need it or till you can use it.
Right.
So, that's good way to think about it, and that's how you should kind of handle your investment.
Yeah. I think, like especially people our age and stuff who are getting out into the workforce and stuff. The way I kind of think of it is similar to that. It's not like, to me though, it's not like a bill. It's more like I'm taking care of everything else. I have this extra stuff. What can I do with it? So the things I put ahead of investing even is my savings. I've been working on my savings a little bit, making sure I put money into that first before I do
That's the most important
extra.
part. I mean, the key to anything is really paying off your current debts before you start getting too big into it. Because the thing is that the interest is what kills you. So I invested a bunch of money into crypto, and I didn't do any of I did stocks for a minute with Robinhood. I started up an IRA because I work for the state. I work for the government, so I get a different kind of thing than others, and so I had to start my own private thing.
Yeah, my company doesn't have a 401k, so that's why I have an IRA.
And see, that's really odd to me.
They're trying to go public, and I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
that's a little bit more personal, for sure. But, the key is that, if you want to save money and invest money, what you have to do first and foremost is invest in yourself and get rid of whatever debts that you have yourself. Become the investment yourself is what I was told by an old friend of mine a little while ago. And, a lot of people live with a lot of debt, and they think that will get them out of their hole, is to invest in other things. And I've come to realize that, that's trying to invest in your future with dreams and not with currency. And that's
the cart before the pony.
That's groupie.
Yeah.
And, this is something that...
It's very common, though.
It's something that's really kind of interesting, like, today, is that something that we're not taught, in school, that really should be taught is personal finances.
That's, in all set, I took business accounting in high school, but I've never taken a course in personal finance. And
I don't think one exists.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
At ACC, you can take personal finance.
That's a
class.
college, dude.
The biggest thing in anything to do with personal finances is just making sure it makes sense for you. Like, that's it. Like, if you do the math, and that's the hard part, you have to do the math.
Math
doesn't make sense, then don't do it.
I feel you.
That's
a good question. I like that question.
Yeah, I know, on the personal finance subreddit, they've got a good kind of flow chart of how you should prioritize your spending, and of course it's immediate expenses. I'm good right now, thank you. Immediate expenses, things that you have to pay. Then you want to start taking care of your debt. Then you want to put as much as away as you can in savings.
Right.
General good idea is to build up a 3-month emergency fund.
Yeah,
still working on that. That's
see.
Really hard.
It's really hard.
and then you can start investing and stuff.
I recently figured out how much I need for that, and I'm like, huh.
And you're like,
yeah.
I actually already have
it's too expensive to keep me alive.
Saved up.
Shut up, Scott.
That's good, man. That's good.
Well, but see, my parents, when I was growing up, I've been working since I was 12, and that's how I paid for college and paid for my first car.
Laborer.
Well, I refereed soccer, so I wasn't.
I refereed soccer too.
I wasn't bringing in
I made $9 a game. I did 3 games on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was pulling $27 in a weekend in middle school.
But see,
and it was awesome.
But see, I had to then save half of that money.
Okay.
So I didn't get to spend all of it. I could only spend half of it.
Well,
so
sitting
I
here
just
right now at this
invested
day
in
and age,
all
I
of-
wish I had saved half of that instead of, pissing it away on whatever middle school Brad wanted.
Hello.
I could live 2 years without payment, and that was all from what's it called, crypto. I invested all my money in crypto on Ethereum, and then I sold out.
So you've cashed out?
I cashed out, yeah.
That's good.
Wait,
so,
you cashed out of Ethereum?
Most of it. I've got, like I said, another 20 still left in Ethereum right now. But man,
I mean,
if you can develop enough cash to blindly invest into something, then you'll be fine. But the thing is still, though, is that it doesn't matter how much money you made. The key was, and still is, in like your case, Scott, is to make sure that your personal debts are paid off first.
Yeah.
Before anything else, because that's what will chain you down.
right,
I mean,
because it's
living
really
expenses.
those interest rates that kill you.
Dude,
Like
yeah, I hate
like my
interest.
car loan.
Don't ever pay interest, you guys, if you can help it.
My car loan, they always I've paid $300 a month, even though like I had only like a 4% APR or whatever.
right.
And so they've each month has been getting smaller and smaller. Like, oh, you only need to pay this amount this month, but I still pay the $300 because
There you go.
I'm basically paying off all of that interest
Exactly.
before.
Before it accrues.
Well, actually,
Right.
the idea is with a loan is that you want to be paying extra to put towards the principal, because the further you knock down the principal, the less money there is for them to charge interest
Right,
on.
right,
That
right,
makes sense.
right.
Yeah. Well, that's another way of thinking.
So yeah, like
yeah, interest.
it's definitely better to take care of all that, and then once you've taken care of that, you don't have that charge, so it's going to free up that amount of money. And then you just take it, and you're like, I'm buying all the Bitcoin.
It's just like ripping a leech
I own
off of you.
everything.
It's the same with credit cards too. Like
Yeah.
you get these credit cards with great rewards and stuff, but the second you don't pay your bill in full and you start paying on interest,
Yeah.
your rewards don't matter. You don't have rewards. Like
Well, I mean, the problem with credit cards is that people will get them and they'll treat their credit limit
as if
Like
it's,
as
money that they have.
Like money, exactly.
Nope.
And they'll
You
max
can't
out.
do that.
They'll max out their credit card and be like, "Well, why is my credit score so low? Why can't I do anything anymore?"
I've done that, and it's not good.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Don't do it, Bobby.
Not anymore. Not anymore. But like I've done it before, and I was like, "This is a bad idea." So,
I shouldn't have done that.
You
I
gotta
was
have
just a
plan
boy.
when you do it, man.
F you, Capital One.
Why did you let me do this?
Oh, they'll let you
All
do
right.
it because they want that money.
They want that money.
Right. Well, see, and that's actually probably maybe you could say the most disgusting thing about loans and stuff like that. They actually, they're spraying and praying. They want that person who will pay that
Predatory,
minimum
dude.
every single month. Like, they don't care about the person who pays everything off. They want that person that pays the minimum
Because that's how they make money.
because they will just make money off of them forever.
And
Yeah.
that's why you should learn about personal finances so you can say "fuck you" to the bank.
All right.
This is why they should teach this in college, because I feel like most people they're like, "Oh yeah, I know how it works," and then you sit there and sound like, "Oh God."
Do you really though?
Yeah, and it can definitely dig yourself in a
Well,
hole.
yeah,
It
because
sucks.
the problem is that like by the time you get to college, for a lot of people, you've already made an extremely major financial decision as far as
Oh, yeah.
loans and interest rates go. Is because there's hardly anybody today that's going to college and already paying the tuition in full.
Right.
I mean,
Unless you
not-
got that rich uncle sending my way, guy.
I mean, like, oh, we had another dropout. What the fuck?
What the hell?
man.
Oh, man.
PlayStation.
This was back when Scott was talking. How far back was this?
They're spraying and praying. They want that person who will pay that
Predatory,
minimum
dude.
every single month. Like, they don't care about the person. They don't care about the average person. They just want to make that money off of you every single month and go on forth. Topic change.
Topic change. Speaking of bad decisions,
Speaking of not knowing
What-
things that you should,
what the hell's going on with this new environmental? Did you guys see the new hire for environmental?
oh yes, I did. I
horrible.
sure did.
Those are
I don't know
eyebrows.
why I'm talking like this, but it's
Yeah,
happening.
what
So-
happened?
name
is Sarah
Huckabee, and I'm gonna do my eyebrow.
Like,
Wait.
okay,
She
so-
just made those things in the St. Louis Arch, man. They just it's like a sun setting.
No. This,
Okay, so what is her name? Is it Kathleen or something?
Kathleen
Sarah Huckabee.
well,
No,
no,
that's
you're
the
talking about
secretary.
the communication person. What we're talking about is the new appointee
Oh my god.
Secretary
but fuck
of
Sarah Huckabee, though. Fuck Sarah Huckabee.
Agriculture.
Wait, wasn't that Rick
Environmental.
Perry?
Steve Perry.
No, Rick Perry was something. Maybe,
Is this for the? No, he was for like energy.
Oh, maybe he was energy. Yeah.
Kathleen White is her name. I don't know her full name, but
It's like here's the thing is like you shared a video earlier today that like was from her panel hearing where they basically vet her, which I mean they always rip them a new one, but then they get approved anyway. So what's the point? But and like the thing with those videos is that like, I mean, it's obvious those videos. I'm sorry, they do have a liberal bias.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And so like the videos are designed to make those people to look bad, but at the same time, like it seriously looks like she went in and was like, yeah, I don't know anything about this job.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Y'all go ahead and approve me.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
She was
the
talking
most.
about like oceans and stuff specifically, but at one point she said, "Yeah, I have no expertise or knowledge
What
on
the
this."
hell?
And I was like,
like,
"You have no expertise or
we
knowledge
had
on anything." Like,
I'm sorry,
Hang on.
we had another dropout.
Also,
this is getting ridiculous.
Before we check,
we need a better. Y'all buy me a better laptop.
You buy yourself a better laptop.
we
I don't got money.
Hey, invest in yourself, okay? I don't know her full name, but
It's like here's the thing is like you shared a video earlier today that like was from her panel hearing where they basically vet her, which I mean like the videos like the video you showed like
they have a bias.
They have a liberal bias.
Yeah.
And like but like they're obviously designed to make these people look stupid. But man, doing this a second time is really hard.
They get hired in. 'Cause she went in there and she was like, I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Even though this is my job too, but
and like almost proud of it.
Yeah.
Like from the look of the video, at least.
Why
like she was,
am I not CTO
And
right now
that's-
with these
and
people in office?
that's
I
one
can't
reason-
speak to her being proud of it, but I just remember her saying it was in regards to the ocean. But she was talking about how she's like, I have no expertise or knowledge on this. And I'm like,
well,
I know
like
nothing about ocean
basically
dolphins.
the people on the panel were like, do you agree that like they've made these measurements that there's like 50%
yeah.
more heat or something like that, and she was like, well, no, I think that's an opinion. He was like, and they're like, so you think what they measured is an opinion, basically, is what they're like getting at.
And she was
It's
like,
like,
yes.
yes,
And I was
like
like-
that scientific measurement is their opinion.
dude, it just goes on
correct.
to the whole alternative
And-
facts thing
yeah,
and just
and-
all that stuff.
That's the main reason why I
Trump
shared.
said the water was warm. That's why he's orange, like
That's-
Tito.
That's the main reason why I shared that video to you guys, because like not just because it's a liberal bias, and I guess I'm more left leaning than right leaning, but I'm kind of like in the center, really.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Are
Yeah.
you Antifa,
Guess-
bro?
I'm just no. But one
I'm
reason,
a centrist.
one reason why I did share
I like
that
to scream at conservatives in Dallas and Fort Worth
and color my hair
and color my hair.
and talk about boobies.
I like to scream at the conservatives and call the liberals hippies.
Same,
right.
Same. I actually agree with that. But so I just thought it was crazy. Like there's like some
I mean, people
questions they
thought
gave her. Then
Betsy
she was,
Davis was bad.
yeah, me too. And I was like, wow.
But like this is like 10 times worse.
This is a
Yeah.
joke.
This is
Life is a joke.
This is basically willful ignorance.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing that this is the nominee for, the environment person for
She's like
the United
standing up
States.
there and they're like referencing all these documents. She's like, well, I would have to read something about that, basically. And I'm like,
Have
no.
you not prepared
What?
for this job?
Yeah.
So you haven't read anything to do with what you're supposed to be an expert on?
There was
It's
one
like being the press secretary and not even knowing who Trump is.
I got the invitation for this meeting in my Outlook, so I'm here.
yeah.
Who the fuck is Pants?
There was one
Pants.
point in the video where I'm kind of like a little misquoting a little bit. It's basically along the lines of this. She says that CO2 does not have an adverse effect on human health.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, right.
go put it back over your head and tell me what happened. Like, honestly, like just, hey, you feeling okay? Like, I thought that was
It
hilarious.
sounds like she was breathing some CO2 before she did
even
that
got
interview.
there, yeah. And I was just like, this is
Damn, dude.
ridiculous. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know what's going on, dude, is
People
it
are
dumbing
gonna-
down.
Yeah.
If all the water looks brown, then the swamp looks like fucking
Crystal
Dasani
clear.
water. It's like Fiji water. Yeah.
It has electrolytes. It's what plants crave.
Exactly. That's exactly it. We need Dwayne the Rock Johnson up here, and we also need
No, we need Camacho,
Camacho, Comanche, whatever it is.
whatever the dude's name is from Idiocracy.
Well, you know what though is that if
Because he yielded to the fact that when someone there was smarter than him, he listened to them and he let them help them.
Let the man speak.
Exactly. He realized that this person was smarter than him and might have known a little bit more, which is more than we can say for a lot of people in office right now.
Fuck it. Let's let Terry Crews become president.
Please don't.
He just no. Okay, listen.
He's a nice guy.
He
What
built
about
his
LeBron
son.
James?
He built his son
so
a
you can
gaming
travel?
PC. All right.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know anything about PC building or any electronics or anything like that. He went from being an NFL star to a movie actor to an activist. And now to, before activist, I guess in between that time.
To a
Wait, we're talking about Terry
bodybuilder.
Crews?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's still an actor.
He is, but I'm just saying is that he has, he's done a lot of
built
things
upon himself.
on the side.
Okay, serious question, because I think we've talked about this before. Like the idea of it's obviously happening. Yes, you're playing footsie with me again.
I'm sorry,
So
dude.
currently we have Trump as president, who was a quote unquote celebrity reality TV show.
Piece of
all that.
shit.
Yeah, definitely.
a Cheeto.
And then previously Ronald Reagan was like a popular actor before he became president.
Correct.
So we've only had and then Arnold Schwarzenegger becoming governor of California.
Yes.
We've had a few cases before of celebrities becoming major political office holders, and then. But mainly we that's not been a thing. It's mainly people that actually have business being in the realm of politics. But we actually have a potential coming up soon of Kid Rock versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Kanye.
I think
in
Kanye
2020.
2020. Is
I think a lot of that is
stupid.
It needs to
is
stop.
really just talk because of the current landscape of.
and I definitely hope it is. But
think about it realistically. Do these people really actually have the drive to become president or even really run for an office?
we asked the same thing about Trump, and here we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand that, but most of these people who say that they'll do it, I don't feel like they'd actually really follow through.
I think they
do
would
it.
run, and then they'd be like, "Oh, this is serious," and then they might just probably drop out unless
Well,
they were
see,
just
and
like,
I was listening to a political
But
podcast.
some of these people have such pride that they can't give up, that they might just go through it, like Trump.
Well,
Yeah.
but see,
True.
You're
You're right.
I was listening to a political podcast, and they were saying how Trump winning was really surprising for Trump. They didn't expect to win,
Yeah.
and
Of course they did.
a lot of
Here
people.
we are now.
Crooked Hillary was rigging the election.
yeah.
Well, a lot of
Smart
people
Hillary.
are predicting that he's probably not going to run again next year.
Crooked Hillary
because,
is just his pet name for Putin.
If he can get out without losing an election, it's still like a victory for him. So I can't see a future where we have famous people who run for office who really want to actually take the time and not become the laughingstock that Trump has become.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I definitely hope that what's surrounding Trump becomes an example for anybody else that's thinking about running. But at the same time,
It's a serious job, and you need to treat it seriously.
Definitely.
So that's
Yes.
while we're having our jokes about, hey, let's have Dwayne The Rock Johnson, let's have Kanye West, let's have these big influential people.
I don't
run
agree with
for-
Kanye. I just want to put that on record.
hey, actually, real quick, if we had to choose one person as president, who'd you guys pick? I just want to know
man.
this. Come on, you can pick anybody.
don't put that evil on me, Bobby.
Bernie Sanders, dude.
Bill Gates.
Put someone like a celebrity.
A celebrity.
A
Okay.
celebrity.
Bill
You
Gates.
said anyone.
Okay, you're right. Anyway, so Bill Gates for you. You still want good old Bernie?
Yeah, dude.
At least Bill Gates knows how to manage that large amount of money. You know what I mean?
Because he
True.
actually.
But
has it.
the whole idea is that
Exactly.
Trump was a businessman going in. He
He's
was
not a businessman.
He-
that
claimed
was-
bankruptcy
okay,
3
yeah,
times.
okay. I didn't say he was a good businessman. don't jump on me for that.
He
the,
used car
the
salesman.
idea is that people are like, oh, he's a businessman. He's going to come in. He's going to run the country like a business, and
that's not
fix
a
everything.
good thing.
But the
That's
thing is,
not a-
you can't run a country like a business because
There
a
you go.
country is not a business. Anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Who would you have as president? Pick anybody.
I really don't know. I don't know if there's anybody I feel like I would really trust
See, and that's
Can we bring back Obama?
That's what I was getting back. That's what I was getting at. Like,
No.
I'm honestly wondering who, because I can't really. No one comes to mind. I don't know who like our next president will be like. I have no idea.
Well, dude, everything's changed now.
After this, maybe it's gonna be Kanye Reeves. That'd be cool.
Because like here's the problem with a celebrity. I feel like, or for like the majority of at least celebrities that would have the audacity. That's the word I'm going to use. The audacity to run for president. Like those people are egotistical. First of all, to think that like, okay, I'm going to be a good president. They've got that ego to say that they're going to do that because they think that they can do it. They think they can get elected, and they think that they should be that. The problem is that those people are thinking about them. They just want to be president for them. They're not thinking about the country. They're not thinking about the people, because a president who's there for the people and thinking about the people is going to be a person you don't hear about that much.
Like a senator.
Right.
Yeah.
Like because the way that you get to be into the position to be able to run for president at all requires you to be a little bit of a sociopath. Like
exactly.
Yeah,
but I mean, we kind of think about Obama. Obama wasn't in the news because, except for Fox News, because he was doing something crazy.
Right.
Obama was there just kind of doing things. He was doing presidential things, and we talked about him and liked him because he had like this charismatic charm,
right?
And he was an actual decent human being.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump is out there trying to do things
to sell steaks,
to be recognized, and kind of make a little bit about him, and make sure he's still relevant.
The Trump brand. Like
the idea is that like the president should be there working to better the country, do better things for the people. And like if his face is out there, it's because.
But even before Trump, though, like has the president been like that?
Yeah, I remember Nixon.
Well, I mean, one thing I heard recently was that Trump's approval rating is now down to, I believe, around the 40%.
And that's 37 is last.
Okay, I'm sorry, 37. And I believe a portion of that were people who actually did vote for Trump. And I think what that's ultimately saying is that we have more people that are maybe in the middle and not necessarily left or right. And I think it's actually rare to have someone who is extremely left or extremely right.
Mm-hmm. But they're so loud.
Yeah.
Right. They're so loud that,
they represent everybody.
Right. They're the vocal minority, as people say online. And I think that we really need to remember that, like, hey, no matter who you are, we still agree on voting. In some other countries, one party agrees on voting, the other party wants to be a military state that runs the country. Like, we have more in common with people across the aisle than we think.
But see, like,
that's true.
It's something we shouldn't. A lot of problems is people demonize the other side. And
yes.
You really should not.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really shouldn't do that.
Very true.
Because even I'm seeing the same problems when Obama was president. I'm seeing the same type of jokes being made towards the president that was being made towards Obama, that's being made towards Trump now. And
for sure.
It makes me saddened to see my friends who are like, making these type of jokes, and then when their president is in office, they're like, oh, I don't understand why they're making these jokes. It's like, look at yourself freaking 4 years ago when you were doing the same thing. Like,
true.
I would say
if you can't even understand that, then you're a part of the problem.
Yes,
True.
Absolutely agree with all
Very
of that.
true.
I would like to point out, perhaps maybe this is a biased interpretation or perception, but I feel like there is one party who uses that tactic as one of its calling cards, almost, to just divide people and then run on that platform
Libertarian?
rather than
it's the Green Party, isn't it? It's those
I'm
green ass
being very
hippies.
serious right now.
But see, the thing is like Twitter is a very liberal platform, and you run into the problem of whoever you're following or whatever you're listening to is your own beliefs, so you fall into the trap of an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And
confirmation bias and all that. Yeah,
exactly. So I think it is worth everyone to at least kind God, what is the wording for this? To at least entertain the idea of other people's beliefs, because
Absolutely.
you might learn that there's more in common, and actually you may actually agree more with the other party. It's just, I mean,
Go ahead, Bob.
George Washington. Are you okay, Brad?
Brad's
You gotta
snorting
stop
some whiskey
trying
over
to
there.
spill the whiskey that much, man. You're gonna kill yourself doing that.
George Washington said we shouldn't have a two-party system because it will ultimately divide the United States, and I don't believe it is.
George Washington said had a two-party system. All right,
He said
Republicans
don't-
versus Democrats. Let's go.
He said don't have a two-party system,
I heard two-party system.
but I don't think it's gotten that bad. I think, you know,
The news sensationalizes everything.
right,
yeah.
exactly.
And on that, the
you
whole
want to
note
grab those headlines.
of divisiveness and stuff. Like one interpretation. This is like
This is a
maybe
great shot
kinda-
of Joseph pouring some whiskey.
me saying profound things, hopefully. But no, okay, so one definition that people call love is the willingness to interpret somebody else's actions or intentions.
Right.
And if we go by that definition in terms of, people on two sides of the aisle trying to come to an understanding, there is no love.
Right.
At this point, and there needs to be more. There needs to be
Yeah.
more willingness to interpret what the other person's saying
Right.
or understand.
But my main argument is that it's on both sides. You would be ignorant to believe that your side is the one who's willing to listen.
I do agree. That is how it is now.
But yeah, I think we should move on to rating the beer now.
No. We got one more thing to talk about really quick.
Really quick.
Really, really quick.
I don't have much time left is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. Well, this will be even quicker. Scott, why don't you like that one thing about the Switch?
My point was
Okay, wait. Before we go into this, do you want to just save it for the next cast? Is it going to be?
we can save it for the
There's
next cast.
something burning in Scott's mind that
We'll talk
just
about.
wrong with
We'll
the
talk about
Switch.
next
Okay,
cast.
all right. So join us next cast for why Scott hates Hulu.
I don't.
No. I don't want to
all
hear
the
it,
Switch.
Scott. That's going to be our clickbait for the next cast. All right.
And you
Why
can
does
talk
Scott
about
hate Hulu?
Talk about
Okay.
those headlines.
So
why Skyrim
so
doesn't
now-
belong on Switch?
So now we're about to talk about the beer. We're not going to hear anything else from Scott. All right. So
pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin spice
pumpkin latte
pumpkin latte.
by
Latte.
Martin House Brewing is what we're drinking again for a reminder for our listeners. So like this is pretty generic. It's a pumpkin ale with coffee. They don't really kind of get into the nitty gritty of like the base style or anything like that, which I wasn't even really able to discern from drinking it. So let's just kind of I guess go around the table. Zach, you want to talk about the beer? What'd you think about it?
5.
Oh damn!
Rough.
It was average. It was pumpkin. If I wanted pumpkin, I could go to the store. I could go to Starbucks. Either one, I'm gonna get fucked in the face with a pumpkin. Doesn't fucking matter because
If I was a
that's
betting
what-
man, Zach, I'd say that you're not a big fan of pumpkin.
I love pumpkin. That's the funny thing too, is that I
Whoa,
love
what?
pumpkin seeds, and I love pumpkin pie made by friends. But the thing is, though, is that I hate the
The bastardization of pumpkin.
I hate the bastardization of pumpkin, and this is literally pumpkin and latte. This is literally the two most basic bitch flavors mixed into one shitty package, okay? And it's not shitty, okay? I'm sorry. I don't like lattes, and I don't like
So
pumpkin together.
Zach, what you're trying to tell us right now is that you're a bad bitch.
This ain't no.
You're not basic. You're not basic.
No, you're a
you
basic.
fucking know it. I'm about to throw this table right now. I'm a bad bitch.
Is your pH above 7?
Anyway, Joseph, what do you think about?
What do I think about
tonight?
this? This actually wasn't too bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad though. They did a really good job, in my opinion, of bringing out that pumpkin spice, which is maybe why I called it pumpkin spice latte on accident instead of just pumpkin latte. But yeah, you really can taste the pumpkin spice. I didn't really taste the latte. I tasted the beer, so maybe just call this pumpkin beer instead of pumpkin latte. I'm gonna give this a 6.3.
It's very accurate. Or precise, rather.
Precise, yeah. I didn't want to give it a 6.5.
I want to make sure we know the difference between precision and accuracy. Scott.
No,
we're not going to hear anything from Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Anti-switch, motherfucker.
I agree with Joseph. I don't think, our last one was also an ale. What?
That's Bobby's face.
Our last one was also an ale, but that one had a much stronger flavor.
Okay, well, hang on. Saying a beer is an ale is like saying saying a Hefeweizen is like a stout.
Why is Brad so angry at Scott right now?
He's had too much whiskey.
I don't agree with him on the switch.
Brad gets aggressive when he drinks whiskey.
Did you see Brad's face? He's just like, boy, look. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that as far as if we're talking about beer, we need to be specific, and ale is one of the most generic terms you can get when you're talking about beer. Beer is in two categories, ale and lager, and when you talk about an ale, you're talking about probably 50 different categories.
Okay,
I told you earlier we can't figure out what kind of beer it is. It's just an ale.
He's so mad.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Like Joseph said. Well, okay, I don't drink coffee to start off, so I can taste the coffee in this. It's very subtle.
Interesting.
But I love pumpkin pie. This doesn't taste like pumpkin pie like I was hoping. And then the beer part, it's like it has these three distinct flavors, but I don't feel like any of them really go together. Yes, and unlike the raspberry ale that we had, I tasted... Oh my God, Evie, are you okay?
Hey, she's talking.
Okay, I tasted the raspberry and it complemented the beer so well. It's just three flavors.
It's like boo boo.
Throwing paint on the wall.
Two of them I love, one of them I'm indifferent about, and it just doesn't work for me. So 6.5.
Man,
Bobby,
I don't really like pumpkins or lattes or ales or even beer. I don't even mind.
Why are you here?
Why am I here? What is my life? No, so
To be the hypocrite.
to be
you have to be the constant.
Bort No Bobby podcast. So I'm kind of indifferent to the taste of pumpkin.
To the taste of paste.
To the taste of pumpkin. I don't really drink coffee at all, if ever. So I could definitely taste the coffee.
No, Brad drinks coffee.
I could definitely taste
I do.
the.
Zach, you drink coffee.
Yeah, a lot. Too much.
I could definitely taste the coffee in this. I can definitely taste the pumpkin and the three flavors. I don't feel like they complement each other well. I really don't. I don't see how people like pumpkin spice lattes. If this is anything close to that, why the hell would you drink that?
Why would you drink a pumpkin and a latte?
The real pumpkin
separate?
spice latte is very fat, like creamy sweetness.
But still, like
You have to have them together, not separate, because this is it's very clearly said on the can.
That's the wrong can.
Stop it. It says pumpkin and latte. It doesn't say. I don't know if that steam is supposed to be pumpkin or latte. Where's the camera at? I need to show this. I don't know if it says pumpkin and latte, but it shows like almost like it's like pumpkin and latte right there.
For me, I was actually disappointed with this this beer from Martin House. I'm gonna give it like a 4 because I feel like the beer flavor was there, which I'm fine with. A 4 because I don't feel like that. Why the hell would you do that? Like honestly, like I feel like the color. I feel like the colors.
The colors.
Like the flavors definitely clash a little.
The beer was the wrong color.
Colors,
Note to self: Bobby's taste buds process flavors and color.
I do. This is
full color.
This is a
Some good acid, man.
This is a green. This is a green out of purple. Not too good. Not bad. Not too good.
Those aren't complementary colors. Very good.
Okay, you know what,
Dude,
this
this mauve and this beige are fucking me up over here.
All right, Brad, what do you think?
fuck this beer. No, it was. I said like a 4.5, 5, maybe. It's not that bad. But
Okay.
I wouldn't buy it again.
Okay.
Say it, Brad.
Okay. So yeah, this is like.
Does this taste like an ale to you?
Just like, just like.
He's gonna be so mad at it. I dropped my mic for this so I could see his expression.
No!
All right, guys, come on.
All right, so this is this beer is definitely
It's an ale.
So I want to start off by saying that I really like Martin House as a brewery, but I'm not a big fan of this one.
Yes.
I can definitely taste the pumpkin. I can definitely taste the coffee. But kind of like as some of you guys said, they're not really like complementary components. There's like separate components. I've had many pumpkin beers. I've had pumpkin spice lattes. There's definitely a lot better pumpkin beers out on the market. This didn't really taste like a pumpkin spice latte. It more tasted like the flavor of pumpkin rather than the flavor of pumpkin spice, which is kind of what I feel like. So it was.
I think it was too subtle.
I agree.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was kind of subtle. The base beer was a little boring.
Do you think they intended this to be good, or was it a novelty?
I kind of feel like they're kind of going for a novelty with this. However, if you look at the can, no, don't do what I did. Somebody show this to the can. Oh,
you're wasting good beer, man.
Camera. It says Cuvee, which is a local coffee company. I forget where they're from. They might be in Fort Worth.
Cuvee.
I do not know for sure.
Is this in any way related to Cuvee?
Cuvee.
Honestly, when I first saw that, I thought they put Cuvee on there, and I was going to die. But no, it's Cuvee, which is the coffee brand, which, from what I understand, they're a really good local roaster. And I could definitely taste the coffee in there, but, I mean, like we've all said, it wasn't really a good mesh of flavors. It didn't really all go well together.
It seems
So
like
then-
each of us could only taste like 2 flavors.
Yeah.
So then probably it was just they're trying to team up with another local business and make a product.
I definitely see what they were going for. This is a beer that was out at least last year, and
you can't have a strong coffee and a strong dessert together.
Honestly,
a strong coffee and a strong beer.
Well, okay, so this isn't really a strong beer. Now
They tried to, though.
they tried to. Like, the thing is that, like, I think this was too weak of a beer for coffee. What
sure.
really goes well is when you do a big fat imperial stout and put
There
coffee in
you
it.
go.
Right,
That's
so-
what you really want.
That's what I thought this
Perhaps
was
that
at
could
first,
be
was
an
like
experiment.
a good dark beer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been great, but it's
make
such
it-
a light beer that it just didn't work.
Let's write an angry
Let's
letter.
make it, dude. Let's make that beer.
Joseph, we already make a big fat imperial stout with coffee.
Yeah, but
Damn
I want that
straight.
pumpkin spice too.
Damn straight.
But
Impress me. Do it. Make me like it.
this is, so to bring it around, I think I'm gonna have to give this like a 5.5.
Okay.
Truth. So this beer is equivalent to Trump, where it's not that good, but it's novelty. It's good for novelty and me.
No, Trump is worst. It actually would sit there and would actually destroy your palate so you couldn't taste any other good beers. Come on now.
Cheetos.
Damn, too accurate, bro.
Is there a
Hey,
Cheeto
I'm
beer?
sorry
A
to say it as
Trump
is,
beer would
and
say that it's pumpkin, but it actually tastes like shit.
I'm not.
Damn.
I am not a liberal necessarily. I'm left leaning. I'm just saying, man.
That sounds like a libtard to me.
Yeah, you know what, man? As long as it doesn't burn my fucking taste buds, so I can have the next beer 2 weeks from now. On board. Find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Snapchat, blah, 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 blah. And,
Oh, are you finishing up?
no, that's all you.
Beersoftheroundtable.com.
Yeah, so beersoftheroundtable.com,
We have a website? I'm just
believe it or not.
We're on the internet.
Is this
We're on
live?
the internet right now.
Do we have stocks?
No.
I have stocks.
Is this live?
All right, guys, come on.
Yeah, beersoftheroundtable.com. Scott really wants to get out of here. So we're going to drag this outro really out. No, I'm just kidding. Beersoftheroundtable.com, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, Facebook, Instagram.
SoundCloud.
Sound.
No, we're not on
No, you almost got me.
Almost got you.
SoundCloud does have a podcasting.
I know.
SoundCloud's
Get on.
going to go out of business soon, so let's not worry
What?
about it. Yeah.
What about
They're going out of business?
Topic for another time.
But my
Remember to
music-
drink a cold one with your boys.
Yeah, I remember.
Cat cola.
Yeah, what he said.
Bye, Scott.
You should